Welcome back to the deep dive. We have a great word to kick things off today.
Mercurial.
Ah, yes, mercurial.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Like moods that just swing wildly.
Or the weather doing its unpredictable thing.
Yeah.
Even sharp, quick wit can be mercurial.
Exactly. And that quality of shifting, of change, that's really our focus.
It is. Because the sources we looked at pose this really interesting question. How can you actually be sure someone's changed?
Right. It sounds simple, but it's complicated.
Very. There are layers to it.
So that's what we're going to try and unpack today. Like why it's sometimes so hard to tell if change is genuine.
And what clues, maybe behavioral ones, might give it away.
Plus this weird thing where change happens all the time, but we still seem kind of surprised by it.
Yeah, that paradox. And we've got a classic quote to tie it all together later.
Okay, so let's start with that difficulty. Why is it hard to spot real change?
Well, one big point from the source material is that sometimes people actively hide it.
They put on a front. Precisely. They might project an image, that doesn't match what's really going on inside. Maybe for deception, maybe other reasons.
Okay, like a performance.
Yeah.
But the source also talks about something more, visible.
It does. It pivots to looking at how people actually act in situations they face regularly.
So it's about their reactions.
Yeah. The idea is that real deep change often shows up in how they handle things differently than before. A noticeable shift in their usual response.
Okay, give me an example.
The source had a couple of good ones, like think of someone who always seemed completely checked out, just uninterested, and then suddenly they start showing real drive, real determination. That's a big shift.
Okay, I see that. Or the other one.
Someone who used to, let's say, completely crumble under pressure or lots of demands.
Right, got flustered easily.
Exactly. And now you see them handling similar, maybe even bigger demands with this. Surprising calmness. That difference speaks volumes.
And there was that image described too, right? The phone.
Oh, yeah, that was vivid. Someone just sitting calmly, maybe having a coffee or something.
While their phone, an old phone maybe, is just blowing up next to them with messages, notifications.
Yeah, buzzing away. And they're just ignoring it, completely unfazed.
That really shows a change in how they react to urgency, doesn't it? What's behind that kind of shift, do you think?
It suggests, maybe they've reevaluated things internally, changed priorities, maybe developed better ways to manage their emotions, perhaps.
Oh, interesting.
But then the source brings up this other point, how incredibly common change actually is.
Right. It's literally everywhere all the time. You'd think we just roll with it.
You would. But the source says we often react with alarm. We're startled by change in others instead of just accepting it gracefully.
Why do you suppose that is? Is it unsettling?
Could be. Maybe seeing someone else change forces us to look at our own stability, our own assumptions. It might even reflect how open we are to change ourselves, How we process it in others says something about our own growth.
That's a deep thought, which actually leads perfectly into our quote of the day.
The big one.
The only thing constant is change. Heraclitus.
A classic for a reason. It just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it?
It really does, especially with this whole mercurial idea. It says this constant shifting isn't weird, it's fundamental.
Exactly. It's the baseline reality. So recognizing change isn't about spotting anomalies. It's about seeing the continuous flow, the process.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. So mercurial captures that constant flux.
Yep. And seeing real change in others is tricky. People might hide it.
But shifts in how they handle everyday stuff, their reactions, those can be telling.
Definitely. And even though change is constant, we still get thrown by it.
Yeah, which might say something about us. And tying it all together is Heraclitus. Change isn't just frequent, it's the only constant.
Well put. Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. If change really is the only constant, what subtle shifts might be happening in your own reactions, your own behaviors? Signs of your own evolution, maybe, that even you haven't fully noticed yet?